The Warren Commission was established by Lyndon Johnson largely and basically to reaffirm what the FBI report would be on this assassination. That was the purpose of the Warren Commission. That's not speculation. You can see that in the phone conversations with Lyndon Johnson and those prospective men who would serve on the commission. He wanted then to corroborate the FBI's report on this.
Dick?
Yes?
I hate to bother you again, but I wanted you to know that I made an announcement.
Well, announcement of what?
Of this special commission.
Oh, you have already?
Yes. And I got Chief here. May I read it to you?
Yes.
The President announced that he is appointing a special commission to study and report upon all the facts and circumstances relating to the assassination of the late President John F. Kennedy and the subsequent violent death of the man charged with the assassination. The President stated that the majority and minority leadership of the Senate and the House had been consulted with respect to the proposed special commission. The members of the special commission are, Chief Justice Earl Warren, Chairman; Senator Richard Russell, Georgia; Senator John Cooper, Kentucky; Representative Hale Boggs, Louisiana; Representative Gerald Ford, Michigan; Honorable Allen Dulles, Washington; Honorable John J. McCloy, New York.
Well, now, Mr. President, I know I don't have to tell you my devotion to you, but I just can't serve on that commission. I'm highly honored you think about me in connection with it, but I couldn't serve there with Chief Justice Warren. I don't like that man, and I don't have any confidence in him.
Dick, it's already been announced, and you can serve with anybody for the good of America, and this is a question that has a good many more ramifications than on the surface, and we got to take this out of the arena where they're testifying that Khrushchev and Castro did this and did that, and kicking us into a war that can kill 40 million Americans in an hour. And you'd put on your uniform in a minute. Now, the reason I ask Warren is because he's the Chief Justice of this country, and we've got to have the most judicial people we can have.
I don't think the Chief Justice should have served on it.
You never turned your country down?
I could.
Well, this is not me. This is your country.
I can't do it. I haven't got the time.
All right. We'll just make the time. There's not going to be any time to begin with. All you're going to do is evaluate a Hoover report he's already made. Secretary of State came over here this afternoon. He's deeply concerned, Dick, about the idea that they're spreading throughout the communist world that Khrushchev killed Kennedy. Now, he didn't. He didn't have a damn thing to do with it.
I don't think he did directly.
Well,
I know Khrushchev didn't, because he thought he'd get along better with Kennedy.
All right. But we got to have some people.
I wouldn't be surprised if Castro had.
All right, then okay. That's what we want to know. And people got confidence in you. They want to know what you think. What do you think I've done wrong now by appointing you on a commission?
Well, I just don't like Warren.
Well, of course you don't like Warren, but you like him before it's over with.
To LBJ, who was a political master, and his advisors, Earl Warren was a quintessential person for the Warren Commission for a number of reasons. One, the Supreme Court. Two, Republican. Three, the great esteem he was held in by the liberals. It was a must. It had to be done.
Lyndon Johnson appointed the Warren Commission, which was made up of very dignified and honorable men, liberals and conservatives, Democrats and Republicans. And people think they conducted an investigation of the Kennedy assassination. They did not. The FBI conducted the investigation.
J. Edgar Hoover was concerned by the idea of a presidential commission. He had hung his reputation and the reputation of the FBI on the idea of a single gunman theory, and he couldn't abide by the humiliation of a differing conclusion. To ensure that everyone knew where he stood, he leaked the entire FBI report to the press before the commission was established.
Before the Warren Commission even gets its offices and its desks set up and its coffee machines plugged in, the conclusion of the FBI report, Commission Document 1, is already being leaked to the selected press across this country. That Lee Harvey Oswald did it, and he did it all alone. Before the Warren Commission begins its investigation, it knows what the conclusion it's supposed to find. It's boxed in. Now, why did the Warren Commission men, best and brightest, these respectable men, and these are respectable men, why did they allow this to happen? You can only imagine that they recognized that there was a need for a politically acceptable solution and that they would go along with it. You can imagine if the Warren Commission came up with a conclusion that was diametrically opposed to the FBI's report, the chaos. Second of all, one has to recognize the power of FBI Director Hoover. If you cross this man, what will your political future be?
All politicians in the United States live in fear of J. Edgar Hoover. They operated that way. And they operated that way for a good reason. He had the abilities to blackmail, and he exercised a terrific control, some of it almost Byzantine in the way it operated. And people that looked upon J. Edgar Hoover as sort of a latter-day American Christ, when in fact he was an ugly blackmailer, a man with no morals, and a person that represented all that was wrong in the United States of America.
Now, the Commission was concerned about this, the fact that they were boxed in, the fact that the conclusion that the conclusion they were supposed to arrive at, that Oswald did it all by himself, no, a lone nut, that already was being leaked in the public. They talked about this endlessly. Who was leaking? Who was leaking? Well, we know who was leaking. It was the FBI, to box the Commission in.
The Commission did its best in closed executive sessions to confirm the findings of the FBI report, but information would often surface that would not fit.
Let's see, the time of day was about, well, we're not very far from 2 hours from it. Yeah. The sun a bit, well, not too far.
Oh, well, it is
November
later
is
than
different,
this.
different
It
different
is
time of
later
year.
than this, you see, much later. Hey, you see those two fellows?
Yeah.
Now tell them that we'd like to have them get to the west window on the south side, open the duct, and we want to reconstruct the... yeah, that's what I mean.
The west window on the south side.
Of the 6th floor.
The 6th floor.